And happy Thanksgiving and blessings for so many things that we have. You know, I just read from my Bible. We should not feel entitled to the blessings. Instead of feeling entitled, we should be thankful that we get them. Thanksgiving is so wonderful here in the US and in other countries. Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do?
What did I do for what? For Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, what did you cook? Okay na! Okay na!
Bloopers. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do pork belly. I'm gonna cook pork belly with instead of the original. In Cebu, we have the pork belly roll.
Yeah.
Instead of rolling it, I just put it flat with aromatics. And then I
Yeah, that's
bake
the
it.
way, yeah. Diba?
Yeah.
It's already contrived, too contrived na yung the pork belly, roll, and then everybody's doing it. So now go back to the redux. It's a redux of the real parang lechon slab. But it's flat and it's going to be roasted.
Yes.
Because she's doing pork, I'm also going to do pork, but this is a ground roast, and I will show you just how to butcher a long spare ribs and then create it to be like this. So this is our Thanksgiving offering to you here in Flippin About.
Thank you. Hi, this is Genie, and the recipe for today would be just in Cebu we're known for the lechon belly, but instead of rolling it, today I shall be just putting it flat and then baking it, but still with using the same aromatics as you would typically use in a lechon belly. So lechon means pork belly. So, but this one is just very easy recipe. You bake it, and it's more for making it more, just less fuss, because the traditional pork belly is you roll it, you use a thread or yarn, or not yarn, but you roll it and then you bake it. So this one is very easy, just flat, and then you just put everything, the ingredients in the pan. So I got like a smaller pork belly, so this one is just a smaller cut but with the skin on, and then I scored it, so I cut it diagonally so that the heat will penetrate, and then so this will be what we're using. And instead of rolling this one, which if this were longer, you roll this one and you put all of the aromatics inside, but what I'm doing is just I'm putting everything in the pan. These are the ingredients. So this is the pork belly, and I scored the pork belly already, so I cut it diagonally on the skin. So when you say pork belly, it should have the skin on, and you can find it in any butcher shop. You just ask the cut with the skin on. And we in traditional Filipino pork belly, we use the aromatics like spring onions, lemongrass, a lot of garlic, and onions, a lot of onions, and of course we use salt, pepper, pepper flakes, actual pepper, and then also we use this one, a soy sauce. So you can buy just a traditional, if you like Japanese or Filipino or any Asian brand of soy sauce is good. And mine comes with chicken stock, so we're gonna put the chicken stock inside. So this is very easy. It doesn't require any rolling, and it's just hassle-free for the holidays. So what I'm gonna do is I will put the garlic here first. A lot of garlic to flavor it, and onions, And then I'll put the aromatics in, which are the lemongrass and spring onions. So this is gonna make the bed of the pork belly. And with our pork belly, we're just gonna season it with salt. A lot of salt. So the salt dries up the skin, makes it crackling. And also the temperature helps. It has to be high heat. Here you go. Pepper. And you also do, you know what, I should have started with the back as well, but yeah, there you go. Pork, pepper, and salt. And then I like to add a lot of pepper flakes on mine. See, I like it a little spicy. And then the thing that gives it Filipino taste is a soy sauce. So you can put a little soy sauce here. Yeah, we'll add more later, but it provides like a sort of like more flavor. And now if you want to add more aromatics, you can put oregano. I'll put it on the back, so just to provide more aromatic. And so now I'm gonna put it in the oven, but here this is to help steam. So you put like half a cup or maybe even more, maybe 1 cup. It depends, like you're gonna put it around the pan so that it will steam and cook. So I'm adding more here. There you go. Oops, so that will just give it that. So this is very simple, no need to tie it up.
In some more to release the fats underneath, and it's the fats that will make it crackling. This is when you try to help it crackle faster. Alright, there you go.
At the
Last 5 minutes.
last 5 minutes we broiled it so it will be crackling. So when you broil, you have to really watch it because it will burn.
Yeah, here's another tip. If you're broiling and you're just new in broiling, leave it a little open.
Okay.
Leave it a little open so that you can be sure that it will not burn. Broiling means the heat is coming from the top and it's very intense. It doesn't even say any temperature, it just says high because it's on full. So broiling should only be about 5 to 10 minutes of cooking, and that's it. Congratulations on the crackling! Of making a crown roast. Of course, if you have the luxury to order it already, tell them you go to the butcher, you're going to buy a 13 rib pork rib, and they will already do that for you. But what I did is I challenged myself to do it on my own. So I had a 13 rib pork, which is the usual, what they usually have. And I'm just going to show you. So this was 13 ribs, and I cut the excess meat here to flatten it. And here is the excess meat, which I'm going to put in the middle, inside. Alright, how did I get to this? Okay, what I did after cutting this, alright, with a very sharp knife, I put a hole through and tied it up to the other side. So forgive this because I really had to make sure that it's very tight. You can use wire if you want, But this will do a very good cotton thread. Now, normally it would be the same height. Okay, but what I decided to do is, you know, when it's on the same height like this and you serve it, they cannot see what's inside. But look here, I can already show what's inside here. I will be putting this, my meat, inside, and brown rice that's already cooked, and I'm going to saute that. Now, how did I achieve this? Okay, all you have to do is to French cut through the bone. Alright? And you will get this effect. Now, the professional chefs will always inspect how neatly you will do it in the bone. So, I'm not a professional chef, but I try my best to really go as neat as I can. So, it's with the help of a good knife, right? So, here, I have done the rest. And some people, they take this out and use it as a filler. But I learned another style wherein they just leave that, let that hang. Let it hang. And then when you serve it, there, you will see that these ones, there's an extra effect. Alright? When I was trying to tie this up, what I did was I had a bottle to help hold and not give me a hard time. Alright? And now that I was able to tie it up, to hold it while I'm baking it, together with my meats. Oh, by the way, before you even attempt to tie anything or to process this, you have to already marinate it in calamansi and toyo, or lemon and soy sauce, right? So, a small but fitting bowl has to be all stainless because you will put it in the oven, and then this goes here together with other things that you want to put. You can put cut vegetables, you can put the potatoes. I'm going to put the ones that I butchered from here and the rice, and then that will become a very beautiful crown roast. So this is what we call a crown roast. But let me go further. Add diced calabasa just to make it festive with Halloween and Thanksgiving Day. Okay. Alright. Now, how do you dress this up when it's already cooked? Very simple. What they call this is like a French invention, I think. I'm not sure, but it's like a toque. Putting a toque on this. So what you do is you get this paper and let's shorten it. Okay. Just cut through. Okay, now people make this mistake of already doing that. So there's no oomph. What you have to do is really you have to invert it so that there's body. This one has more body. There you go. Okay. So we will put that here, one each on every bone, and serve it like that, like a crown roast. Alright? So I'll show you later how it goes. First, we will be doing the filling. It's just a simple saute, combining my calabasa with the cut meats and with the rice. So it's really a ready feast. It's complete, and it becomes a centerpiece meat. So I'm going to start cooking the filling. And I always start with caramelizing just a little sugar to make the sauteing quicker. And I'm toasting coriander, a little fennel and chili And here I go. Since my sugar is already caramelized, I'm going to start with shallots. I cut up the extra meat that I trimmed from the crown roast, and because it's Halloween, I'm adding kalabasa or pumpkin. So just a quick saute. Normally, what you would do is you have to thoroughly cook the shallots, but it will cook further inside this cavity, so cook it anyway just to be sure. Alright, so I'm now going to have my meat, which was also marinated in soy sauce and lemon. Of course, you can use ground meat. There we go. I can smell it already. Putting in my kalabasa or my pumpkin. This cooks quite fast, and I don't want it to be mushy, so I just heat it through. Sometimes, you know, when you say heat through, that would be about 3 to 5 minutes of cooking. Alright, and I have ready rice. This is brown rice that we normally cook at home, and I kept some that's already cooked, and I froze it. The reason for that is that the starch of every grain has ice crystals, and when you cook, the ice crystals will melt and it will soften again the rice. But doing this, freezing the rice, means you do not yet release the starch. You only release it when it's being cooked. Because if you start with mushy or starchy rice, your whole dish will become sticky and messy. It's not going to be nice. Right? So here, I'm going to add now, always I add something in the center. Of course, you know what? You don't have to follow my recipe. You can add many things that you want. Things for embutido or relleno, or even longanizas, or as I said, grilled vegetables. You can put anything inside here, right? Or you don't even have to put anything, as long as you can make it stand and be a mayabang crown roast. Alright, so I have my brown rice. Okay, let me show you now. If you have a springform pan like this is the best. All you have to do is just transfer it there, let it stand. I have my extra marinade. I'll pour it again all over. Right? Uh-oh. And then the stuffing. Roast it right away. Do not make a big mistake of creating bacteria. What you do is you have to cool this before putting it on something that is chilled. But now I'm going to bake it straight because Jenny is cooking also her pork. I might as well make sabay with it. So, but the rule is always hot to hot, cold to cold. But now, what you can do is wait for this to get cold. and then put it inside a cold crown roast. Alright? Why? Because deep in the center, when you put in your filling, sometimes the center is where the bacteria will always start. Bacteria likes just the middle of hot and cold, like us, like our temperature. And we don't want bacteria here. We don't want, and also, the reason why I cook the onions thoroughly is because onions will always have a natural liquid. And if that's released and it's not cooked, then that is what will feed the bacteria. Alright? So, now I'm going to fill this in. You can have paella inside. You can have Chinese fried rice with longganisang Macau inside. You know. Okay. Let me do this now. And since this is already partly cooked, and my crown roast is not fully cooked, I'm going to cover this with some foil first. Right? Cover just the filling. Just like that. Okay? And I'm going to start cooking. Make sure that the ends, after you do the French cut, that the ends are out there. And in the middle of it, you can baste it, right? So this goes to an oven. I think my pan is leaking, so I'll have to put another pan on it. And then 350 for 1 hour. Okay. 2 crown roasts waiting to become delicious. And these are Flippin About roasts. You can see the lechon of Genie's, and this is the crown roast. I'm ready to dress it up, but it's already done. There you can see. There, it's so beautiful. And it's tilting, which means that the people can see what's inside. Right? Because this is the shorter ribs, and these are the higher ribs.
Crackling test. So that's how you know it's crackling. So yeah, you broil it the last 5 minutes so that it will create this crackling effect. And also when it's cooking, you gotta poke it so that the juices will come out, and the juices serves as a way for it to crackle. That cooks the skin, and that's it.
Cutting through. There, it's so crunchy. Whew. Oh, don't forget, after you've roasted anything from the oven or cooked a steak, always let the meat rest for at least 5 to 10 minutes. It's very fork tender. There. See, that's for handling. For the proof test that it's masarap. Okay, starting with Jen's lechon. Can you just share?
I will just
Wow.
share.
Yeah. The usual sauce would be pickled chilies in native vinegar. But can you hear the crackle? Mmm.
Yeah. It's very tender.
Mm-mm. Good. And there's a purpose to this frill. We call it frills, which is really to hold the rib bone. You can make different sizes, from the small, delicate, and make it a twirl. Or you can do those different things. You can even use parchment, or if not, you can put little red cherry tomatoes there. Just stick them with a toothpick so it will have a holiday look.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll try the meat.
Yep. And the stuffing.
The rice. That's really good. That's really good. Good. Yummy.
I like it that the kalabasa or the pumpkin is just right. I don't like it to be mushy.
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay. We have to end before we eat everything, but we wish you were here to join us. And we thank you for the past weeks you have been watching Flippin About. I know we have plenty of mistakes, but it's because we're enjoying what we do, and that's what you should also do. Don't try to be too perfect or too strict with yourself. And when you have recipes, you can flip it. You don't really have to go step by step. You have to develop your instinct for cooking. Take it from me,
Yeah.
the old one. Yeah. And so that cooking will be fun and enjoyable and not work. Happy Thanksgiving and thank you for everything, Lord. And thank you also to our friends who are viewing. Flippin'
Flippin' about.
About.
Thank you. Goodbye.